Make sure I stay hydrated. Going to do a lot of talking. Hi guys, so today this video is going to be about, well, it's actually going to be more for people who want to start to get into makeup, or you know, or people who just want to go back to the basics or something like that. This video is kind of about and who it's for, but honestly it's really for anyone. I mean, like, who cares? Also, I'm not naked. I'm wearing a tube top, and I just didn't feel like putting on a real shirt, and it's getting kind of warm in here anyways, so I'm just wearing a tube top. And even though it is like 60 degrees tonight, but I'm just trying to enjoy every bit of cold I can before the summer comes. So yeah, let me just go ahead and get in this video because it's a lot. I have a lot to do and talk about. First, you want to go ahead and ask yourself, why do you want to get into makeup? There are multiple reasons why people choose to get into makeup, and I feel like no reason is, or did I just say no reason? I feel like, what? How do you say this? I'm trying to figure out how to say it. I feel like that, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I feel like that no reason is not a wrong reason. Like, any reason is not a wrong reason. I don't know how I want to say this. These lashes are heavy. Maybe you want to feel more confident. Maybe you want to express yourself in this form of art, because makeup is art. Especially all the art that I've been seeing on Twitter lately. Oh my goodness. Maybe you need to learn how to do makeup for the future. Either you want to become a makeup artist, or you kind of just want to do, I guess, like YouTube stuff like this, or there's a certain career path where it's like you kind of have to learn how to do your own makeup, which that was like my reason. I actually did make a video on why I started doing makeup, and I'll put that in the card above. I'm going to try to put as many videos as I can up the card above, but there's only a limit of 5 because I'm going to be doing examples also as well in this video, and I have videos that are corresponded to the products and the examples and whatnot, and I'll link them all down below. Why did I say that? That's a lot more work for me. Anyways, let's just, yeah. Or maybe you want to cover up like acne scars, like sunspots, fine lines, all that other stuff, and you could kind of do that with makeup. But I feel like for that reason, you definitely need to focus more on the skincare aspect, which I will be doing this same style of video for skincare this Friday, so come and check it out. That made no sense. Or it could be just because you want to, like, you don't really have to have a reason. Like, you could just want to learn how to do makeup and put on makeup just because you want to, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like people who get like a whole bunch of tattoos, and it's like, oh my god, does this one have a meaning? No, like, it doesn't really have to have a meaning to it. I just want it, you know? The next question you need to ask yourself is, what is your skin type? Because that is very important when you are buying products, and also the way you're going to be applying your products as well, because sometimes you can't do the exact same technique as someone else because you both have different skin types. So you need different things. So you have to ask yourself if you are oily, dry, combo skin, or normal. If you are normal skin, bless your heart, because you don't have to deal with all what everyone else has to deal with. It is a lot, and I'm so sorry for the combo skin people, because I don't understand, and I'm so sorry. It must be your art. I'm sorry. And the next question I feel like you need to ask yourself is, what is your end goal? Like, do you want to be able to beat your face to oblivion whenever you want to? Do you want to just have like a natural look to just enhance your already beautiful features on your face? Or you want to transform like your entire face to someone else's face? Like that one YouTuber, what is her name? Is it Dope 211? I was so close. Her name, well, her YouTube channel name is Dope2111. And if you don't know who she is or what she does like a lot of transformation videos. I think she transformed herself into Cardi B, which is so cool. Like, how did you do that? Because I can't do that. I could barely get a nose contour right. Now, I probably left out some stuff I wanted to say in that last question. My mind is just doing a whole bunch. I wrote down notes, but I was writing all this stuff down while I was very, very, very tired, so I don't even understand what I wrote. But I'm about to go into the list of products that I feel like that you would need to get in order to, you know, I guess do your makeup on a like a basic level, not use a basic in a bad way. These are the list of products that I feel like, well, not a list of products. Oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? These are the list of things that I feel like they would help you start off your makeup journey, because it's an entire journey, trust me, it is. I did not learn how to do this overnight. Girl, I just recently learned how to do a cut crease, so. Ooh, first off, you need a primer. I don't care who you are. I don't care what skin type you have. I really don't care. You need a primer. Now, I've also made a video about the importance of primer. I'll put it up in the card above, or it will 100% be linked down below, but I don't care. You need a primer, and there's so many different primers, and they all don't cater to every single skin type, so that's why it's important to know what skin type you are. And just because you are like a certain skin type doesn't mean that another person with the same skin type as you is going to like the same product, or you aren't going to like the same product that they use. It's a whole different thing. But I have a few primers right here that I will quickly run over. e.l.f. Cosmetics was actually the first primer, like their primers were the first one I used, not only for my face but for my eyes as well. And they do have like a pretty like extensive range of different primers for people to use. Their most basic one, which I actually don't have that anymore, is their mineral infused primer. Another one that I feel that might be good for people who are more worried about like their enlarged pores and stuff, which is what I have. Oh, I didn't even say what skin type I have. I have oily skin, I have like acne prone skin, I have like large pores and stuff, especially on my nose. I have like textured skin, and I have like fine lines under my eyes because I don't go to sleep. So e.l.f. does have the poreless face primer, so I feel like that this one will be good. I wouldn't say necessarily for people with oily skin, because I've used this and it's not really my favorite. I don't feel like it does enough for me for this aspect, but once again, someone with oily skin would probably really enjoy this. Someone with dry skin will probably enjoy the hydrating face primer, and I actually did try this myself just to, you know, see, and no ma'am. They also do have a blemish control face primer, so if you have acne or very acne prone skin, you go ahead and use this, because this can really help. It actually does have 2% of salicylic acid in here, so I feel like this would be great for someone of that nature. And if you are someone who doesn't really have like the problems that I was just talking about, more of like normal skin, but maybe you have like some like spots, hyperpigmentation, or like acne scars, I feel like the tone adjusting primer would actually be pretty good. I actually use this primer when I'm filming because I don't have that great of a camera, to be honest. Like the lens isn't that great. So it's like the texture part I'm not really worried about. It's more of how my face, well, how my makeup would look like on camera. And I have some hyperpigmentation on my face, more in this area right here. And these primers are very affordable. They're like $6, and they now came out with a larger size, which is $10. So you can go ahead and pick them up at Target. I think, yeah, at Walmart also, and you get them on their website. And these other two primers that I have been using a lot, which once again, I have oily skin, so these primers I don't really recommend for people with like dry skin, maybe with normal skin, but I feel like with normal skin it will probably dry out your face. But the Becca Evermatte Poreless Poreless Priming Perfector, I've been using this. This will get your face super matte. What I actually have on today is the Milani Instant Touch Up Blur Stick. Once again, I will put in corresponding videos because I did a video on this. I really shouldn't be going into super crazy details with each of these products because that will make this video super long. So I'm gonna try to go through this as quick as possible. I definitely recommend that people get an eyeshadow primer. Now, I have oily eyelids, so I have to use an eyeshadow primer. But even when I don't want to wear eyeshadow, I still have to put on an eyeshadow primer and like a pressed powder because it will get oily and move my eyeliner and my mascara if I don't. So what I have been using is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. There's also another one I used to like. It's the Wet n Wild one. It's not the Photo Focus one. It's the Fergie one that they don't sell anymore. But I believe the Photo Focus Elf also does have eyeshadow primers. I think they come out with like some new ones and whatnot. But you could get primers. Get your primers, okay? Get your primer. Get a face primer and an eyeshadow primer. Doesn't have to be these particular ones, but just get one. So next is foundation. Once again, very important to know what skin type you are because there are a multitude of foundations. These are just a few that I have. I have a whole bunch more that I'm still kind of testing out. But I am currently wearing the, what shade am I wearing? The Wet n Wild why can't I say this word? Photo Focus foundation. I actually have 3 different shades right here, but I'm wearing the shade Toffee and I really enjoy this. I feel like this is great for like oily skin, but I feel like everyone is enjoying it. Like if you have dry skin, normal skin, hyperpigmented skin. What? Another foundation that a lot of people with oily skin really like is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. It's somewhere in there. I just don't feel like looking for it. But a lot of people with oily skin really like it. I also do have the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth foundation right here. This isn't mine. This is for a friend, but she never got it back because we haven't seen each other in a long time. But this is definitely good for people who have drier skin. Also the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin. And then if there are people who have more of like sensitive skin and is more worried about like, I don't know what people with sensitive skin worry about, I'm sorry, but I feel like that Neutrogena would probably be like a good one. And I definitely recommend if you are starting out to find a foundation that actually has a pump. So just find a foundation that will work for you. It is going to be trial and error because once again, just because you have oily skin and Susie Ann has oily skin don't mean that you're both going to like Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. Next, you want to find a concealer mostly for your face. You can go advanced and find a concealer for your face and also a different concealer for under your eyes, but we're just going basic here. We're not going for like super beat it up, beat it up, beat it up. So right now the concealer that I've been using on my face a lot is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealer. Yeah, it just says concealer. This is the shade Medium Deep Tan, so I use this one on my face. But what I have been using very recently is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser for dark circles. This is the shade Tan. I've been using this on my spots, even though yes, this is supposed to be for under your eyes, but I actually enjoy this for my spots. Definitely just find a concealer that matches your face. And I also say don't go by shade names because I know shade names can throw you off. Go definitely by like the color of what you see in the bottle. Buddha. Oh, sorry. Next is a face powder. Now there are so many different options for a face powder. I basically just go with a face powder that is my shade. This is like the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural. This is in the shade Dark. This one is the Wet n Wild Cover All pressed powder, but you can also use like a translucent powder. I know that a lot of people are scared of translucent powders. You could use a loose translucent powder or loose powder in general, but I feel like if you are starting off, you might want to go with a pressed powder because there's a lot that you could do with loose powder. You could also use like a banana powder, especially if you have like a darker skin tone. This may not look banana on camera, but it is a yellow powder, but you could use something like this to set your face. And also if you want extra coverage, which you can do, which I kind of advise you not to if you're just beginning, you can actually use a pressed foundation, like a foundation powder, if you would like, for extra coverage. So back on foundations really fast, there's actually different kinds of foundations. What I showed you was a liquid foundation, but there's also cream foundations, powder foundations, there's foundations that stick. There is also tinted moisturizers and BB cream for a lighter coverage. There are foundations that have more medium coverage, which I believe the ones that I showed y'all were more medium coverage foundations. There's also very high coverage foundations, which I don't really like to work with that much because that's kind of a lot and I'm still learning once again. But I just forgot to add that in like the foundation part. What I was saying is, like, if you feel like that you need a little bit of extra coverage, or you just want that extra coverage, you can go ahead and put on a powder foundation, but just don't go too heavy with it, because I feel like if you put on a powder foundation on top of already liquid, cream, whatever foundation, it could look very cakey really fast. Next is blush and maybe a bronzer. I would say it's not that necessary, but honestly, doing makeup for a while, it does make a pretty big difference. But you could just easily get away with that with just finding a blush that kind of acts as a bronzer at the same time, you know, just finding like the right shade for your skin tone. But I do for sure recommend getting a blush palette, because you could experiment with a whole bunch of, hold on, let me try not to blind y'all. You can experiment with different colors, and also in a palette you can try to maybe find a shade that might work for you that could potentially work as a contour. Today I'm actually wearing this shade right here, which this is like my everyday shade, to be honest. And also different makeup looks like call for a different kind of blush. Like you could do like an overdone blush look, because I know that Nitra B, she used to, I don't know if she still likes to do it now, but I remember she used to like doing it in the past. You could do a very natural blush look. It's just a whole bunch. I recommend getting blush palettes. Now with bronzers, and I'm not saying contour, because contour and bronzers are two different things, but a bronzer is just basically supposed to just warm up the face, not really to add like this is I guess like a harshness to it, but it's not really to add like any depth, but it's basically just to warm up the face. I use this bronzer right here, which I've used this to death, to be honest. And also I have another, no, I use that more of contour, but this little palette from City Colors actually does have a contour, bronzer, and a highlighter, and sometimes I use this one to warm up the face because it's not that deep. So it's not that deep, fam. Sometimes I use it, but not really as much. So you could basically skip the bronzer and just stick with blush. Just find a blush that you like and that complements your skin tone, and you could, you know, kind of work it in a way where it looks like a bronzer. Next is a eyeshadow palette. Okay, I'm gonna say palette. I wouldn't say go and like try to buy a whole bunch of single shadows. Just buy a palette, because you would just have a whole bunch of shadows with you. And I say get a neutral palette, because I mean, if you want to go ahead and experiment with colors right off the bat, go ahead, but I feel like you're gonna be looking a hot mess. You're gonna have blue eyeshadow all the way up to here, and I guess nobody wants to look like that. But I also think it's unfair that this generation gets to have all this information now, because they don't have to go through the ugly phase. They didn't go through the messed up blue eyeshadows and the unblended shadows and y'all don't have to go through it, but we had to teach y'all. So appreciate all this information that not only I, but everyone on YouTube and the internet and whatever have to go through and give y'all. Now there are a million and one eyeshadow palettes out there. Like the most famous one that everyone loves is the Urban Decay Naked palettes. Obviously Naked 1, 2, 3, blah blah blah. I just have the Urban Decay Smoky palette, but my favorite palette that I like to use basically every day is the e.l.f. Matte for Matte palette. This is actually before they came out with a whole bunch of different shades of their matte palettes. So I feel like this is, I don't know what the shade name is. It just says matte on the back, but I think on the website it's like Nude Moods or something like that. I don't know. But this is a nice neutral palette right here. This one has a mix of like warm tone shadows and cool tone shadows. As you can see, I mostly use the warm tone shadows, not too much of the cool tone, because I feel like warm tone shadows work a little bit better for my skin tone. But this is like $10. And also this eyeshadow palette that no one really be talking about, which is fine because you want to keep it on the down low. But this eyeshadow palette right here from LA Colors, I did a video on this once again. Why do I say words weird? Once again, I'll link it in the card or down there, but I actually use this eyeshadow, well, this palette today for this eyeshadow look. It looks kind of janky, but that's because I messed up, and well, we don't need to talk about the process of what just happened. But I use this palette right here and I really enjoy it, and this was only $1 at Dollar Tree. Now I put eyeliner on the list as that's like a basic thing, but I feel like you actually don't really need eyeliner, because I know there's some people who like just put on mascara and that's it. But me, I really like to wear eyeliner, and there are different kinds of eyeliners. There are liquid eyeliners, there are pencil eyeliners, there are cream eyeliners, there are gel eyeliners, there's auto pencil eyeliners, which those are both kind of different. There's like kajal eyeliners. There's so many different eyeliners and so many different ways to use them in so many different colors. So you could skip eyeliner, to be honest, but if you want to wear eyeliner, I mean, just find one that you like. Me personally, I like to actually work with liquid eyeliner, and for the longest I did not, but these past few years I've actually been really trying to work with liquid eyeliners, and to me it's so much quicker and easier than like a pencil or anything. But once again, do what you gotta do and what's comfortable for you, boo. I wouldn't worry about getting the eyeliner for the waterline just yet. We don't need to be messing with the waterline too much at the beginning. I do have eyeliner on my waterline, but once again, just don't worry about it. Just focus it on the top parts of the eye. Now, the next thing that I feel like that is necessary is mascara, because unlike guys, most girls aren't blessed with beautiful, luscious eyelashes. That is so unfair. Guys don't really need those you know, let's not talk about it. But I feel like mascara could definitely make or break a look. You just gotta find one that you really like. There's so many different ones. There's waterproof, non-waterproof, there's wet formulation, there's dry formulation. There's just so many different kinds. I have, actually both of these mascaras are Physicians Formula, but I really enjoy it. Like, I try a whole bunch of mascaras, but this is the Organic Wear, the Jumbo Lash mascara right here, and this is their, what is this one called? Their Sexy Booster Vava Voom Volume Mascara. This one's more of a wet formulation. This was more of a dry formulation. I feel like if you're a contact wearer, like me, I wear contacts, go with a wet formulation. Don't really go with a dry one, because then all that's just going to fall in your eye and it's annoying. Like, I get it. I get it that you're used to stuff being in your eye, because I am too. You could easily just go whoop, but just don't do that. Just don't. I am going to say, if you do choose to use a waterproof mascara, I'm just tell you right now, it's going to be really, really, really hard for you to take it off. So just be ready for that. If you don't mind that, cool, but just be ready for it if you yeah. Next is brows. People could get very particular about their brows and how they want them to look. There are some people who can draw on new brows every day. I can't. I just got to work with the brows that I got. But what I feel for brows is all you really need is a spoolie just to brush them out, and like a eyebrow gel. It's like a regular eyebrow gel just to hold them down. If you want to put a little bit color into them, you could get a gel that has like a tip to it, or if you feel like you want to go ahead and just do a whole thing. You could get a pencil. This is like one you have to sharpen. You could get like an auto pencil. You could get a pomade. You could get a cream or a wax. Why did I say cream? Why would you want a cream? Have I ever used a cream? Well, you could get eyebrow wax, or you could get eyebrow powder as well. You just gotta definitely learn how to work eyebrows, because the only eyebrows I know how to do are the ones on my face. And I don't know how to do any others. Last but not least are lips. Now I feel like for lips, you just have to find a shade that is like a your lips but better shade. Now that may be, it's probably a different definition for everyone. It could be like a nude, or like a certain mauve, or a certain like a dusty pink, or maybe like a certain brown. It's different for everyone. So you can either get like a gloss or a lipstick or a balm. I kind of recommend, if you are starting, you could just start off with a gloss or like a balm before you really get into like the lipsticks, or like liquid lipsticks. We are just not going to touch liquid lipsticks for right now. A few ones that I actually do like, for me, that are like my lips but better. Why do I still have this in a box? I should really take this out. I do like this nude lipstick right here. This is Amor Prohibido from MAC in the Selena collection. And I like to top it off with this nude gloss from e.l.f. in the shade Natural. It just gives it that like extra like, ooh, yes, ma'am, you know. Also, sometimes I'll just throw on like a quick balm because I don't care, or chapstick. Another one that acts, it's not really like a my lips but better shade, but it actually does look nice and I enjoy it, but it is the Marc Jacobs Kiss Kiss Bang Bang lipstick. I got this free for my birthday, like I don't know how long ago. Another one that I've recently been enjoying is the Elizabeth Arden lipstick in the shade Barely There 44. It's actually, I don't know, it was recently. It was like one of the first times I ever used it, and I was like, I actually like this color. It looks good on me. Or you could kind of just get like one of your favorite colors. Like if you like purple, go ahead and get like a purple lipstick. If you like pink, go get a pink. If you like red, actually I feel like one of my first lipsticks was actually a red lipstick, because I really do love the look of red. But you could go ahead and do that if you want to. You could do, honestly girl, do whatever you want to do, because it's you. Now for a few honorable mentions, I actually did leave out highlights, because I don't really think it's very necessary for a highlight. We just all love highlight because it's so shiny and so pretty. And also you could do so much with highlighter. Actually, the highlighter that I'm putting on right now is the same highlighter that I do have on my face and on my eyelids, on the brow bone, in the corners, and basically all over is the same highlighter that I'm putting on right now. It's just, highlighter just adds like that extra oomph, and if you aren't super experienced with makeup, highlighting can be very intimidating because you don't know how much is too much. And honestly, for basically everyone who loves makeup, there's no such thing as too much highlight. But you can also use like a blush topper as a highlighter. Actually, for me, the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in the shade Rose Champagne, it is a blush, but it works really good for me as a blush topper, and I actually do use it as a highlighter sometimes when I want to go for a, you know, more of a natural look, or I just don't want to do all this or whatnot. There are liquid highlighters like that come, you know, like this, or they come in, okay, what literally just happened? There are ones that come in pumps, there are ones that come in like squeezy tubes and all that stuff. I don't really enjoy liquid highlighters that much, but that's because I don't be working with them that much, and I really should just work with them a little bit more. And there's also powder highlighters. There are loose powder highlighters, which I was putting on my body just now. You just gotta find out which one that you feel comfortable working with. I personally say start with a powder highlighter, not a loose one, like a regular pressed one. I say start off with that because that will be a little bit easier. Another honorable mention is a contour. I left that out because contour is kind of a lot. You could just use regular powder contour. So I use this Wet n Wild one, and this is the shade Caramel Coffee. I use this to contour. For contouring, every face is different, so you have to contour differently from the next person, okay? You and Susie Ann can't be doing the same contour because it may not look right on your face and it may not look right on her face. You just gotta know your face and, you know, whatever. Also, another honorable mention, like I said earlier, which is loose powder, or like more of like setting powder, like translucent powders. This is a banana powder, but I do like to go in with this powder with my beauty blender and actually cut my contour. See, look, that's like another like thing I kind of learned recently. Well, I knew about it, but I just never tried it in the past, but I've been doing it a lot now. There's quite a bit of things you could do with loose translucent powders, or like setting powders, like what the awesome, amazing, beautiful Miss Jackie Aina does. She actually puts setting powder on top of her primer because she has oily skin, and then she goes in with her foundation and then she puts it on and stuff. People use loose powder to bake under the eyes as well to give it that more bam look. Also to catch fallout from eyeshadows, if your eyeshadows do have any. There's a lot. You could actually use it to set your entire face as well. Another honorable mention is actually lip liner. I just don't feel like getting some right now, but I don't feel like you necessarily need lip liner. Like, I don't know if it's only me, but I basically just use like whatever lipstick, liquid lipstick or whatever as my lip liner. I just take like the edge and just boom, done, I'm good. But you can create awesome different cool looks with using a lip liner, and I guess it's supposed to help keep your lipstick on for some reason. I don't believe that, but I should probably test it out and see if it's true. So I want to say the main takeaway from this video is basically like, don't be scared to like try to do makeup. It's actually not that scary and it's not that hard. You just definitely have to practice. Like, if you want to do a wing eyeliner, you're gonna have to practice a lot, and it's just makeup. If you mess up, you could literally take it off and try again. Or if you're doing something that's like, I guess, crazy and outrageous or whatnot, it doesn't matter. You could just wash it off at the end of the night and then try something different if it didn't look all that great or whatever. I know that sometimes stuff like that could be discouraging. Trust me, still to this day, stuff be discouraging me. And it does take a while to get the hang of things. Just don't be scared to like mess up and know you messed up, and just be like, okay, I could just try better next time. I was gonna save this part for my skincare video, but I'm gonna say here and in my skincare video, wear SPF is just as important as primer. And yes, I am talking to black girls too, melanated girls. Wear SPF. So I guess that is it for this video. My camera's about to die, so my camera's really telling me that is it for this video, girl. Charge me. I hope you guys found this informative. I tried to make it as informative as possible if I could. I hope this helps y'all out. I hope it helps anyone out. I will be doing maybe another video in like the future about the different types of tools, because that can also really, like, the types of tools that you use can really help you do your makeup. I'm going to be basically this entire week, I'm going to be doing a hair video and a skincare video just like this style as well, so stay tuned for that. If you did like this video, please give it a like. Also comment down below if you did find this informative, or if there's anything that you want to add, because obviously I missed a whole bunch of stuff. I know I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I don't know everything. Like, I'm not like queen of makeup. I wish I was. That'd be kind of cool. No, that's a lot of pressure. I'll be the peasant of makeup. That's fine. No, I don't want that responsibility. Please don't. You could check out all my social medias in the description box down below, and check out all the corresponding videos. If I remember to put them all in, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna forget, but I'll put the corresponding videos to what products I talked about in here down below. Some of them did pop up in the card, but like I said, I'm on limited 5, so just check in the description box down below. And if you are subscribed, please hit that notification bell so you could get notified every time I post. And if you are not subscribed, please do, because we're trying to get this channel up to 500 subscribers by the end of the year, and I think it would be pretty cool if we could make that happen. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye.